And there I was the girl from Suits.
This one's wife. The kids' faces finally shown. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. It still remains the case that on certain below-the-line discussions, comments, places which debate this one's wife, one sees people asking, but why does she do this? Why did she do that? What was she thinking when she did this? And I simply sit and mutter to myself, it is because of her narcissism. And then the explanation follows. It remains the case that so many people scratch their heads or rub their chins, perplexed by the activities and behaviour of this one's wife. And if they bothered to watch my videos, both those about this one's wife and the multitude which are nothing to do with her, not only would they understand precisely why she does as she does, meaning they wouldn't need to pose those questions any longer, but they would also understand a lot about other people, famous people, powerful people, and why they behave the way they do, and quite possibly understand something about the behaviour of people in their lives also. My work provides people with a key to understand why certain people behave the way that they do, which includes this one's wife. This is why I continue to analyse her. Yes, it gets plenty of views, and of itself that extends my reach, but also it's done because she provides so much material that bears analysis to demonstrate the way that a narcissist behaves. And it's also the case that there remains a lot of people who are interested in her who still don't get it as to why she behaves in the way that she does. Everything that she does in relation to another human being or a contemplated interaction with another human being is governed by her narcissism. This means it is related to the pursuit of control. It's likely to be for the pursuit of fuel. It possibly is related to character trait acquisition and possibly in relation to the prime aims. It isn't because she's evil. You can describe her as evil if you wish, but that's not what's governing her behaviour. It's her narcissism. It isn't that she's got ADHD and she can never see things through to a conclusion. It's her narcissism because it acts in the moment. This is what is driving her behaviour. It is the answer for everything that she says, everything that she does. It explains why she's cut off her father and her half-siblings. It explains why she treated Trevor Engelson so badly. It explains why she's left friends on the shelf and then ultimately disengaged from them. It explains why she has used sex as a weapon to ensnare so many men, including Prince Harry. It explains why she retreated from the British royal family. It explains why she continues to cling on to the titles, despite that making her look like a hypocrite. It explains why she pursues attention, which is fuel, at any cost, even if that means releasing a twerking video when you're pregnant, which makes you look like some kind of old slapper in a lap dancing club. For every question that you have about this one's wife and why did she do this, the answer is it's her narcissism. And then you can drill down deeper to understand which aspect of her narcissism caused her to behave in the way that she did. For those of you that are fully on board with understanding that, and I know that there are many of you, it might behoove you to share further this work in places to help people gain this understanding, rather than them continue to sit there wondering, but why, oh why, oh why? Now, no sooner did I pose the question about why are the kids' faces never shown, then all of a sudden it would appear that the children's faces have made an appearance. As you know, hitherto, we've only been given glimpses of them since they've been babies, and naturally, a child's features change considerably from when they're a little pudgy-faced crotch goblin to when they are a young child. Now we get glimpses of the back of the heads. differing hair colours and hairstyles. Shots of the children, perhaps from the side, but you can't see their faces. From behind, and you can't see their faces. Maybe a little shot of a hand or a leg. Lily's eyes, as she's held in the tentacles of this one's wife. But we've never been shown their faces until now. You will be familiar with the photograph that this one's wife had put up of her, Harry, Archie and Lily at Disneyland. A supposedly wholesome family shot which showed Lily trying to make a break for the border and Archie twisting in discomfort. Nevertheless, the faces of the children were obscured by emojis. It would appear, though, from this picture, that their faces do actually exist and have been shared on the internet. Now, according to this photograph, the provenance of which is unclear, but it has been circulating on the internet, we see Archie, who looks like he's largely featureless, apart from two very dark eyes and a slit of a mouth. In relation to Lily, well, whilst one may not wish to speak ill of a child, she's got one hell of a conch on her. And similarly has the dark eyes that Archie has also. This has been circulating with the suggestion that this is what the children actually look like underneath the heart emojis that have been placed there by this one's wife when she released the photographs on her Instagram. What is quite clear is that this is a concoction and a fake. If you close in on the photographs, you can see that they are blurry, and this is either a product of a best guess created by artificial intelligence or a badly Photoshop attempt. But once again, the internet has sought to out the images of Archie and Lilibet, but has done a rather bad job of it, and anybody with functioning brain cells would be able to see that this isn't what they actually look like. But once again, this panders to what this one's wife wants: attention, fuel. It causes people to speculate about what they look like, which is something she wants to generate by continuing to obscure what they truly look like. It also means that it plays into her hands with regard to her and Harry repeatedly talking about the safety of their children. Whilst we know that they are complete hypocrites in that regard and their security concerns are entirely self-serving and nothing to do with protecting the children, it is the fact that what she will do is talk about the toxicity of online activity and then readily share images of her children, albeit with their faces obscured, on the internet. A complete contradiction. But you see, with somebody having concocted a picture like this, it plays into this one's wife's hands. She can go around and say, look, this is what they do. This is the interest that they have in the children. They will create false images of my children believing this is what they look like. That's the level of obsession that I'm dealing with. These are the stalkerish nutcases that are out on the internet. Now, we don't know the individual that has done this or their rationale, other than perhaps to gain some likes and comments themselves, or perhaps to have a dig at this one's wife and Harry by suggesting this is what their children look like, because ultimately they're not the most flattering of pictures. But the creation of this clear fake once again plays into the hands of this one's wife and allows her to point to people as deranged and ramps up their concerns, albeit ones which are misguided, about security. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.